Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online PTS Patch Notes news video with me, Sherman. Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the 6.2.1 patch, which, like always, the first patch of the PTS, the second patch of the PTS might not change anything. They're just usually fixes, and there could be some changes, but it's going to be really minor changes or adjustments to things that they have in the previous patch notes. So let's go ahead and go through these. We're going to go through them pretty fast because there isn't a whole lot to talk about. They are doing the Undaunted Celebration testing this week. Also has a plethora of fixes and adjustments to the Vatron Hollows and Markarth quests. If you guys want to read through that stuff, I am going to have a link in the description below for the patch notes. You guys can do that. And then moving on, remember, if you run into any bugs, then PTS use the /bug report system. So the way that this works is when you're in game, in either PTS or live, if you type /bug and hit enter, it'll open up a thing that allows you to send the direct bug stuff to the devs. Like, it'll send it directly to them. They get this stuff. And then they can look at what you're talking about, and sometimes you can even do screenshots and other things. Alright, so we're not going to look at a lot of this stuff because it's just, honestly, like the Undaunted Celebration. This is what we're doing with Undaunted. Defeating the boss while in veteran mode has a chance to drop an opal shoulder style page for these bosses as well. So they're adding motive pages and a guaranteed chance for one of the new style pages for the event's opal weapons theme specific bosses in Direfrost, Imperial City, Prison, Elden Hollow, and Spindleclutch. So go check that stuff out. You get 1 week to try and figure this stuff out. Sorry. No, I think it's cool that they do these testing on there, but at the same time it's like, it's just basically it's just a preview of what's to come. So dungeon content and group content fixes. Vatron Hollows is getting some adjustments. As you can see, there's a lot here. A lot of general fixes, a lot of fixes to the Brimstone Den, or adjustments to Brimstone, a lot of adjustments to Hunter's Grotto, the wounding, and also the Champion Circle, which is the final place you go to in the new arena. Now, the thing you have to understand is a lot of these things, you can look at it and you can say, oh, Void Tier can no longer be outranged, and go, oh, well, that's a bad negative effect. Well, it's not. It's just there's things that they have to adjust, and they're tinkering with to see if it makes the content any more challenging, any more interesting for the players to effectively play against. Because, no offense to the devs, there's only so much they can do with the game's design and its stuff. So there's limitations in what they can do, and so them doing things like this is adjusting their limitations. So I do like some of the changes. I did read through these, added the collision to the grappling points in the Champion Circle. I think that was needed. So but let's go ahead and move on. Monsters and NPC adjustments. There is some in here for the new content quest adjustments, which I'm not going to get into because I haven't played them yet. So, alright, but this is the big stuff that a lot of people worry about. The gameplay, combat and gameplay changes. So combat and ability stuff. Fixes. I mean, nothing but fixes besides Battle Spirit being reduced, and the healing penalty to 55% down from 60% to make up for some reductions of healing done and we've taken out of the game. So basically compensation. Buffs and debuffs. Fixed an issue with major and minor buffs such as evasion and magic of steel would fail to properly work when refreshing. Minor toughness, fixed an issue. World stuff, soul magic skill. Have you noticed they don't mention that they fixed the caltrops not working at all? Like, you can cast it and it'll show you do the animation like you're casting it, but nothing happens beyond that. Like, no caltrops come out, no damage is done, no CC, no debuff, nothing. Like, none of that stuff happens. And there are other abilities that are affected as well, and people have posted about this. Excuse me. Itemizations and item sets. So you can now obtain staves to Kind's Kiss, and they fixed an issue which prevented restoration staves from dropping in the shadow of the Red Mountain set. Now, the reason I bring this one up specifically is because this is interesting. Why are they so prevalent in making sure this resto staff appears for the Shadow of the Red Mountain set? This is a DPS set to most people. And it just sounded, it really caught me off guard, because I'm like, why would they care? Like, nobody else will care. I'm the only person who covers these patch notes who would care. And the reason why I care is because the more you add flexibility to the game and access to the way people can play, the more fun people can have with creating new ideas and just creating things that, yeah, they're not perfect, but you know what? It's not perfect, but it works really good in this player's hands or this player's hands. So I like that they are doing this. They are focusing on some of this stuff. To me, it's just as important as you know, like a sword not dropping for you know, this uber stamina set. Crafted sets. Oblivion's Foe is getting reworked again. Some of these sets, I don't even know why they even keep them in the game. They should just like, okay, well, we're going to remove Oblivion's Foe because, you know, we don't know what to do with it. So Oblivion's realms have been full of late of poor souls affected by this set, so it is being reworked again. Whenever you deal damage with soul magic using this 5-piece bonus, you mark the target soul, dealing X amount of magic damage over 10 seconds. And I say X because that damage can be adjusted through CP, so it can be amplified, but it's not a whole lot. So, interesting change. Don't know how much I'll like it, because like I don't use the set personally, but I do know a few people who do, and I think that this is more of a nerf than it is a fix, like an adjustment. This set will now not refresh itself on targets if it is already active. It has to run the duration before it can reapply. And then additional changes to 2- and 4-piece bonuses will be coming in the next PTS patch. So it sounds like next PTS is going to be the big changes that they do. Alright, dungeon and arena sets. Pestilence Host fixed an issue where this item set could stack multiple times on a target from the same wear rather than simply refreshing itself. Trial sets, Aegis of Gallowin, they fixed some stuff. Vulcan Scoria fixed an issue. Ability altering weapons. So this is like their main thing they did. So the Frenzy Momentum, they increased the damage proc from this set to 10,834, up from 9,028, to better account for the wind-up period of your heavy attacks. Its total DPS was lower than the other sets when getting multiple procs off cooldown. So this is going to be interesting how they play that into this weapon. Not a big fan of the weapon personally, but I do use Rally quite a bit. I thought it would have been something that added to that kind of thing, like you activate the buff, and then you get like a buff. You know, you get another buff attached to it or something. But no, it's kind of like that, but not really. So Void Bash fixed an issue where the major maim applied from this ability from this set was fixed in a smaller radius than intended. It is now 12 meters, as the tooltip states, rather than 8. Wrath of the Elements fixed an issue, and pretty much that's it. I mean, that is the majority of things. I mean, it even says the item set collector, they fixed a bunch of stuff. A screen message will now properly display, informing you that you've collected an item set piece when deconstructing an uncollected piece. All that kind of stuff. Stadia game client got some fix, by the way. And that's it. Like I said, there isn't a whole lot to talk about in these patch notes, besides just those minor things that I could call out. I mean, there is other things I could go over, like these changes here, and like go into detail explaining, like, oh, essence remnants will now correctly apply their desired effects when interacted with. That's those little symbols that show up when you're fighting a boss. Or adjusted the center screen message related to the point gains to make it clear how many points encounters and remaining sigils are worth. So, like I said, a lot of it's just adjustments. Like, this is just pretty much an adjustment phase, just like with every PTS patch notes. This isn't no major overhaul, no major changes to the PTS. This is just adjustments and fixes, so people can see what they're fixing and what they're adjusting for the next cycle, and what they're adding, the new Undaunted Celebration. I don't test the Undaunted. I don't test the Celebration events when they have them on PTS, and I'm going to tell you the truth of why. Because they have an internal test group that can test that stuff. Like, that's what they're there for. That's why you hired them. Let them test that. Let us test this other stuff and give you our feedback, and then you make the adjustments to our feedback. You know, that's how it's supposed to be done. But Undaunted Celebrations, this kind of stuff, like, telling us what you're adding to it is great. That's fine. Like, you know, that's cool that you're telling us that you're adding new stuff, but I don't want to see it until it's put in the game. Like, I really don't. Like, I want to keep that to that point. And it again, like I said, some people's opinions on that may vary, but hey, that's mine. Other than that, don't expect to, like I said, never expect the first PTS to be major stuff. It's always the same. So, but that's it for the patch notes. Hope you guys liked them. If you guys want to read them yourselves, check the link in the description below. You guys can read them yourselves. Other than that, that's it for this video. So, you guys know what's coming next. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, you can also click that notification bell and see when I post new videos and stuff. It helps my channel grow. It helps you guys see more of my videos. But that's up to you. And other than that, like, keep saying, until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.